this is a good one, a really good one. Anthony Edwards has improved so much this year. It's only fitting that his first signature shoe is on the same timeline as the way that he's kind of taken the league by storm in a way. And it's so different and so far out that, along with what Adidas basketball is doing right now, they're definitely on the uptrend after we could probably go as far as saying a good number of years of not really providing the basketball market with a great performer. The only one you could probably say in recent years would probably be the Harden Volume 7. Maybe some of the earlier Hardens as well. And what they've done with this shoe in particular is really pushing the envelope of what's achievable with different materials. I'm really surprised. Second time around for me personally with this shoe, the With Love colorway I had originally purchased, and I shipped it back to Adidas because how it felt on foot at first. I never gave it enough time to really kind of like try on around the house or whatever. I was in a bit of a rush because we were leaving to go up north of Scotland for New Year. So I tried it on, I thought, nah, I'm good with that. I think I'll just kind of pass that one. And then it sold out and I thought, should I try it again? And then here we are. So I have the With Love colorway and the New Wave colorway on the way. I've managed to source them in my size, and I'll get to size in the video. But these two are the All Star colorway, and we've also got it's called the Best of Adi, I believe. However, nickname is the Stormtrooper, and this shoe isn't actually released in the UK until the 1st of March, I believe. So I actually sourced this from an Italian website who are really good. I've purchased a number of shoes from that website and been quite pleased with the delivery times and actually the selection they have. And yeah, like I've kind of quite happy I got these, to be honest. I want to start off by going through the shoe as I normally do, but there is some bad things that I'm not 100% sold on, and I'll go through it, and I'll explain as we go through, rather. So yeah, start off with traction. If you've probably, these have been out since before the tail end of 23, so you've probably seen a video and everyone's talking about the traction and how well it bites. Well, they're not wrong. It's really, really good. It's definitely one of the best out there. However, I've played one kind of relatively relaxed pickup game with the team that I coach, and already I can see that the rubber on the heel is starting to fray a little bit, and that was on an indoor court. The traction's really good. The rubber compound they've used sticks very well. However, my concern would be longevity. The pattern they've used is traditional herringbone, as you can clearly see, but this kind of wavy pattern with a little kind of some apertures throughout the outsole for compression of the boost. That is something that I believe I'd like to see them continue this. It's just a typical why change it if it's not broken kind of thing. So hopefully when Anthony Edwards continues his shoe line with Adidas and his relationship with them, hopefully this is still as good performance wise, because this is so good that every shoe now on moving forward after this one is going to be compared to this one. It's great. It's excellent. And just so you know, the court I was playing on wasn't great. It was really dusty. It's not even wood, it's like some sort of tile. It's an old school court. So yeah, it's not the best, but it's still gripped very well on that. So traction, excellent. Rubber compound they've used, very tacky, but in regarding the longevity, I don't know if it's there. Moving up into the tooling, we've got a combination of boost and light strike within the sole, in the midsole area, which is caged within this curum material. Now, the cushion setup is very nice, it's responsive, you still get that low feeling to the ground, which is excellent. Now, within included in the tooling setup, we've got this kind of plate. It's kind of helping you propel forward. Good kind of torsional twist support. You're not really worried too much about that. So this is a combination of your foot crease, where your foot bends, but the one thing I found, it felt very flat inside. There's not really a lot of arch support. The insole is removable, so you can put in your own insole that will give you arch support, and that support will hopefully rectify this. Because of the spring plate always wants to go back to its normal shape, which is pretty much flat, when you actually bend the foot, it's quite tough to bend, but when you're actually moving about the court, you can feel the tech inside actually helping, so it's not a bad thing. However, the next day I was getting a lot of foot pain, like aches and pains. Now, I have had an operation on my foot, and I will need to probably exchange the insole in there, and I'll report back to you later down the line how I got on with it. However, I would point that out, because if you're a type of person who maybe prefers a lightweight shoe or something a little bit more kind of free motion, easy to bend, you may or may not have problems with this, okay? So I just wanted to highlight that. But the flip side of it, which is a good thing, is that when you actually crease this material curum, it goes back to its original shape. So chances are that I don't think there's going to be a lot of crease marks here, which is really nice, because obviously when you buy a brand new shoe, you don't want to be, it's not you don't want to be, it doesn't look great when it's had the arse kicked to it and there's crease marks there, etc., and it just looks done in. This seems to hold its shape quite well, and I think that's going to be the general consensus moving forward, that this will still look more or less like a brand new shoe out of the box, because there will be very little crease marks here. So I just wanted to point that out. The curing material is very breathable. There's a lot of apertures and spaces through here with this kind of honeycomb setup. It's very soft to touch, very soft, very pliable. However, it is very supportive. So when it comes to lateral containment, you've got this outrigger here, and then when you do come to a stop, combination of the traction biting as well as the containment on the lateral side and the laces locking you down, it's excellent. It's really, really good. So the laces, I've done a lace swap here on both of these shoes, because with the New Wave and the With Love you get an extra pair of laces, and with these two you don't get extra pair of laces. So I went on eBay, and because there's this kind of like lime kind of green on the back of the Adidas logo, I decided to kind of do like a little kind of lime green theme, just to kind of make the colour pop a little bit against the black on the background, and I think it works really well. You can let us know in the comments if you like it or not, or if you think any other colours might suit. But for me, the laces is a nice setup. They originally come with rope laces rather than flat lace or oval. Anthony Edwards did have different colours in these. I think he had the white pair and the blue pair, etc. But yeah, like the lace lockdown works well. The tongue itself, it's functional in the sense that it's got the elastic going right down to the footbed, which is nice, because it means there's not really a lot of tongue slippage or anything like that. It holds its shape. Inside, there's not really a sock liner. There is ventilation along the medial and the lateral sides in the honeycomb, but as soon as you get down to here, there's a layer of protection underneath. That kind of brings a containment in, which is great for lockdown, so that's where it kind of affects the sizing, which I'll get to shortly. The bad thing about the laces is that when I was playing, when these arrive in the box, the laces actually go underneath through the lace loop and then out. I've reversed it, so the lace goes over the top and then through the lace loop. The reason why I did that was because when you pull the laces tight, the padding in the tongue isn't the thickest. Combination, there's actually, if you see this, there's actually a seam of the tongue on the outside edge, and when you pull the laces in, it actually digs into the side of your ankles. So I've kind of messed about with it a wee bit, changed the laces setup, and so far it feels a lot better. So if that happens, just mess about with the laces setup, you should be fine. Again, something I wanted to point out. The heel cup itself and around the padding, this little heel tab is very functional. So this is where the sizing comes in. I usually am a UK 8, US 9, and a Nike, a Puma shoe, or a Adidas would then be 8.5 US, 8 UK. Because of the size of the shoe in terms of the materials, and I knew from videos online, people had said maybe worthwhile going down half a size or true to size. So I ordered the half size down. The containment aspect is extremely tight in the shoe, combined with the stiff plate and the shank inside, and then the ability to not really bend your foot that much. It was very compact in the front. I decided to stick with the 8. At first it felt a wee bit kind of big, but when you actually lace it up and you get moving in it, it's fine. It's absolutely fine, because remember, when you obviously were moving, your feet swell a little bit. You need that room. You don't want to feel too contained. Well, I don't personally anyway. But the one thing that this reminded me of, now I'm not comparing the two shoes, I'm just making a kind of comparison between the lockdown aspect. The Puma Clyde Court Disrupt, the first colourway that came out in particular, well, they're all the same really, but the first one was the one I kind of noticed the same as these, was the lockdown aspect. When you actually pull the laces tight, drive your heel to the back, you don't move. And this is the same. The heel counter on here is meant to look like carbon fibre, it's just plastic. There's heel cushion inside, and it really drives you to the back of the shoe, and it feels very comfortable. However, this little pull tab, it's difficult to get the shoe in. You need to unlace all the laces, pull this up. Because it's elasticated, it kind of stretches out. Drive your foot into the front first, and then grab the pull tab and put your foot into the back as you normally do. But this heel tab sometimes gets pulled down, and I don't know why they've done this, but right in there at the back, there's a little bit of stitching. Now, fortunately enough, the stitching that I've received on these shoes is fine, but the heel tab can get stuck down and doubled over, and I had to adjust it, not realising I'd done that. So just keep an eye on that, because although it is comfortable, sometimes it gets caught and it causes that little bit of irritation. And you know yourself, there's nothing worse than getting skint heels or toes or that when you're wearing shoes, so just definitely keep an eye on that. Now, that's pretty much it for the All Star colourway. The protection, the containment, the lockdown, the traction, the comfort, the step-in comfort, 10 out of 10. You know, like, it's a fantastic shoe. The Stormtrooper colourway is obviously it's the same shoe. I just wanted to point something out in this. Now, this shoe is it's maybe like a cloud white, I believe the colour is. And when I first seen it, it kind of looked kind of not an off-white, but you can definitely see there's a difference between the sole, which looks like a kind of milky colour, and the curing material they used on the medial and the lateral sides. And you can see it between, I'll try and get a photograph of this so you can see better, but the curing material and the outsole is very different shades. Now, the other thing is the All-Star colourway has this kind of metallic pearlescent effect, and in the light it looks fantastic. Different way you catch it, you get this kind of metallic speckle through it, but it's a gloss finish, whereas this one here is a matte finish. And I found after I put these on my feet, I realised that there was a bit of dust there, and trying to get it off, you need to give it a good wipe, because it kind of sticks to it, whether it's static electricity or whatever. But yeah, I think this is going to attract marks, dirt, a lot easier than obviously any of the gloss finish ones, just because of it's the matte finish. The Stormtrooper one is definitely up there with one of my favourite colourways of this. It's very clean looking, and I can't help but feel that the design team has done a fantastic job, and you can clearly see the Yeezy inspiration, particularly in the toe box. This is very similar, in my opinion, to the Yeezy Quantums, where we've got this reflective panel in this kind of toe area. Very similar, and I think Anthony Edwards is on the record saying that in regards to signature shoes, some of it he just wouldn't buy, and he wanted something that was really going to push the envelope and take it to the next level. And when you look at the Adidas line right now with the new Dame, the new Donovan Mitchell shoe, the new Harden shoe, it really is pushing the envelope in terms of the aesthetic appeal. This shoe is fantastic. There is one or two small drawbacks, nothing major, and I think that doing the lace swap only complements the shoe further. As much as having the black background, and you can really add an extra lace. Doesn't have to be these ones specifically, obviously, but you do have that option. I think what Adidas have done is an excellent job, and I have ordered like I said earlier on, the New Wave colorway and the With Love colorway in the correct size. Definitely go true to size on these, give them a chance. They feel a wee bit different on foot compared to a regular basketball shoe. And I think the other thing to point out here is that they actually feel like a low top. They kind of look a wee bit like a mid or a high, but this is really soft. It doesn't feel like restricting in any way, shape or form. This setup works. Very, very pleased with the price point. These are £100, which is like what, $110, something like that. I can't actually believe how cheap these are and the bang for your buck that you're getting. I've actually ordered a second pair of the All Stars, and because I got these in Italy, my plan is to hopefully get a second pair of these ones as well, because this is a shoe I'll probably wear quite a lot of in the future, so I want to make sure I've got an extra pair on ice waiting. These are great shoes. Definitely, if you can get a hold of a pair of any of the ones that have been released, go for it. You'll find a wee bit tricky. There was ones on Foot Locker at the time of recording this video in a size 7.5. There was a couple of pairs on Adidas. Keep checking every day because people are returning them and stuff, and they do go back on for sale. There is ones coming out. There's the Stormtrooper releasing the 1st of March. You've got the Coral colorway. You've also got the Minnesota Timberwolves colorway, which look really, really nice. You've also got the charcoal grey ones that are coming out, which I believe they're coming out later on in the year, towards autumn. That's the only ones that I've seen so far. But yeah, like it's a great shoe. If you've not liked the video, please like it. It would really help. And if you've not subscribed already, please subscribe. I would really appreciate that. I'm a very young in this YouTube journey, shall we say, and I would really, really appreciate all the support. And until next time.